For any viewers, if we edit things out, there were a lot of bloopers for this episode.
There was a lot of outside distractions coming from the rest of the studio.
Hello, welcome back to the Divided We Fall podcast. I'm Jake.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Lindsay.
And we have two quick topics today. One about a school board in California releasing some vile information on their Zoom meeting, and another about Andrew Cuomo, very popular subject today. Greg, you start us off with some quotes from the school board.
So, a little background on this. This is from a Northern California school board. The president of the school board, I should start with, and 3 other members have resigned. President Lisa Brezendine from Oakley Union Elementary School District has been confirmed to have resigned. The other members were Kim Bede, Erica Apolito, and Richie Mazadas. We love California names. Mm-hmm. Not easy like Smith and Sam. All of them have resigned, and for pretty good reason. The school board was doing a weekly Zoom meeting, and they believed that this was their pre-Zoom meeting. They were in a group, and they were all just the first 5 minutes of this video. You can find it on Fox News. We'll post it on our description. It's the first 4 to 5 minutes at normal stuff. Them just talking about school board meeting things, and then the last 4 to 2 minutes between then, it was just them kind of ragging on parents and just being generally rude. Mr. Richie Masadas is quoted. These are all direct quotes. If you watch the video, all direct quotes. Behind a screen, it's easy, but face to face, it's a little different ball game. Talking about parents writing letters to the school board over Zoom and through virtual communication, he's saying it's a different ball game. Kim Bede, this is a direct quote, and she does use profanity. This is talking about...
I love this one.
This is talking about a mother who had a problem with her.
Oh, and Lindsay, we want your genuine first reaction on these, so please barge in.
Just to quote her, "Bitch, if you're gonna call me out, I'm gonna fuck you up." This is a school board member talking about a parent who had a problem with the way they were running the school.
Wait, I'm reading the article now. Can I say another good quote?
Yeah.
Sure.
Trustee Richie Mazadas said, "My brother had a delivery service for medical marijuana, and his clientele were parents with their kids at school."
We
were talking about this too. We were talking about that one too. We were going to bring that one up. And then from the president herself, she said, and this kind of ties on what we talked about before, where I was kind of ragging on the school board, and I'm still going to rag on school boards because they got to fight for the students here. They want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back. Referencing parents wanting to send their kids to school. Now, I don't know if former President Lisa knows this or not, but public school isn't an option for a lot of students. You are forced to go to school.
Yeah.
It is a law that you have to go to school if you are signed up for school. Parents send their kids to school for an education because not just it being the law, their parents want their kids to have a good education. They want them to learn social skills. They want them to have a place to go and grow.
Everything we mentioned before, the social life, and an ability to interact with other people, learn about people, and all that stuff.
School is not just for babysitters. The school system is not babysitting. If you think you're babysitting students, you should not be in the school system. Mm-hmm. If you do not have a vested interest in these students, don't be a school board member. Don't be a teacher. Don't be a superintendent. Yeah. Don't be involved in public school and education, or even in private schools and education. Just don't. If you don't like kids,
don't get involved.
Don't get involved, please.
Because then you're just ruining those kids' lives.
You're that teacher that every kid goes home to is like, "Oh, I don't want this teacher again next year."
Yeah.
You're that teacher. Shame on you. Lindsay, do you have anything else to say about this topic?
Just the weed comment, man. I want to know if that's true or not.
I mean, it's a direct quote. It is in the video. So after a little bit of time, after all these things have been said, one person mentions that they're live. and parents have been watching it. And there was a dad who actually was recording it, and this recording is on Fox News here. I'm not going to play it because the audio will be disgusting.
Yeah.
Do your own research. I invite you to, because it is actually pretty interesting to hear this come out of the mouths of people who are supposed to be school board members and teaching and leading our students.
And some people say, oh, it's just one school board. Oh, I'm sure it's not. I'm betting you other school boards now will be making sure they're on a private Zoom before they start their public Zoom calls.
once they found out that they found out that they were found out, they just shut down the Zoom. They didn't even do the rest of the school board meeting. They just closed off the Zoom, and they all just kind of scurried back to their little holes and hid from the public. And then all resigned because they told some mom that she was going to get fucked up.
Oh my god.
I don't know. That just kind of grinds my gears a little bit. However, that's just a quick update on some more school board things and why parents need to get more involved, in my opinion, with school boards, and school boards need to be more open with the parents.
Yeah.
Now on to our bigger topic today.
Which is actually kind of in conjunction with the previous episode we did about Rachel Levine and Tom Wolfe-ish. We went on a rant about Tom Wolfe in that episode.
Yeah, that was, I think, a longer one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York.
Oh, boy.
It has now come out that the great bastion of New York, the COVID czar, Andrew Cuomo, was hiding information. He did not disclose publicly the correct numbers for nursing home deaths.
Yeah.
He even, once this information came out, he even threatened assembly people in New York, which are New York state congressmen, to keep their mouths shut. He was threatening these people. Now,
New Yorkers.
This isn't just, like, the whole, they put their sick people into nursing homes, like with Tom Wolfe. Tom Wolfe didn't hide it.
Yeah.
And Rachel Levine did not hide it.
There.
They were there. We know the numbers, and we know the numbers were high. In Pennsylvania at the time when we recorded this, the last video, it was 68% of deaths in Pennsylvania were from nursing homes. In New York, they were hiding the numbers. Actively hiding the numbers. And now they're under full investigation. AOC, we talked about her during the Dogecoin episode a little bit. She's calling for a full investigation. CNN is calling for a full investigation. The left is now against Cuomo.
That's good, because he's a corrupt politician. Oh my god.
To quote AOC, thousands of vulnerable New Yorkers lost their lives in nursing homes throughout the pandemic. Their loved ones and the public deserve answers and transparency from their elected leadership. And the secretary to the governor's remarks warrant a full investigation. I 100% agree. I could not agree anymore.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane, and I'm sorry that I'm probably going to be doing a lot more opinion-based speaking now than factual-based, because the facts are there. He lied.
But I think we can all agree on this. This is pretty damn disgusting. So it's okay to be opinion-based now. But go on.
Cuomo, he was such a big person during these press briefings. If you ever watched some of his press briefings, he would talk down to reporters like, you don't know what you're talking about, I know what I'm talking about. When pressers would be like, look, when are you guys opening schools? He'd be like, we know what we're talking about, you just keep your mouth shut. The health department uncovered in the past month that about 50% of all deaths in New York were from nursing homes.
Jeez.
They were reporting less than that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a little confused because I'm reading about it now, and it's saying that the undercount was because of a controversial policy to exclude residents that died outside the facilities, like in hospitals.
That's them covering it up. That's them trying to cover their tracks now, because someone has mentioned that they were trying to do it to make New York look better. Yeah. Some said that this was due to that that controversial policy. But regardless, he's now in hot water because of what happened. You can't deny what happened. It's there. Thousands more died than New York was reporting. Moving even further down this rabbit hole, he kind of has lost a lot of support among,
I'd imagine,
Democrats in his own state. They're not trying to hold him up anymore. They now see that what he did was wrong, which I'm glad that we're breaking party lines to realize that the governor allowed and lied when it came to nursing home deaths.
Yeah, I think this is pretty big. We need politicians to stop playing politics. That's pretty important, ever growing nowadays, because it seems like everything that just comes out in cancel culture never actually gets canceled, because people just either care too much for their savior, Lord Jesus, in their political chair or whatever.
One thing that I personally believe should happen is I think the New York Assembly should call for his resignation. Yeah. I think they should, if they don't call for his resignation, I think they should go, or if they call for it and he doesn't resign, I believe that they should then go into impeachment trials of the governor. CNN's Chris Cuomo isn't allowed to report on this either. They've pulled him from being able to cover the story because they believe he's too close to the story.
Huh.
So I don't know. Take it as you will. I'd love to hear anyone who's willing to talk in the comments section. I want to see what other people are thinking. Lindsay, do you have anything more that you want to add?
Not really, honestly. I mean, it's just sad what happened. And I'm wondering what this policy is that they're referencing in this article. I feel like I'll have to look more into it.
Yeah, I want to do more research into this. I think there's a lot that are still coming out. We don't know all the details. Yeah. As more comes out, we'll obviously know more, and we'll update on Facebook and TikTok and things like that. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the next video might also be more on Andrew Cuomo, mm-hmm. if anything big comes out throughout the week. But I think it's definitely refreshing to see in these times, even with this, in my opinion, a disgusting tragedy that didn't have to happen because mm-hmm. of Cuomo's inability to lead as a governor. Some Republicans and Democrats being able to come together and say that this was wrong. I truly believe that this is could be a good stepping stone into coming together, because we did start this podcast to I'm gonna just wait.
Holy.
We started this podcast to kind of reach a middle ground. Yeah. Even though we do, like me and Lindsay and Jacob sometimes disagree, we're also trying to find common ground. We're trying to come together. All three of us have different political beliefs. Now they're vacuuming. Should I start from we started this podcast?
Yes.
Okay. So we started this podcast to kind of bridge the gap, try and come together. Me, Jacob, and Lindsay, we all have different political beliefs. Some of us, we all try and meet in the middle as well. We were all friends in high school, and we managed to survive that. We're still friends. Me and Lindsay now in college. Jacob is in his last year of high school. So there is some common ground that everyone can kind of find, and I think that's super important because in this polarized society, I think 2008, 2008 was, I think, the start of the biggest rift, and then 2016 just kind of solidified and made it even worse. There are a lot of people who are trying to claim we're not divided, but when you can't even be friends with each other because
God. I hear that all the time in high school. It's I can't be friends with you because you believe in Trump. Okay.
I don't understand how people can be you believe in this one thing, therefore I cannot be friends with you. If it's something as simple as I believe that we should build a wall. No, I don't. Mm-hmm. But if somebody does come out and say, I believe we should build a wall, why does that mean you can't be friends with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And usually you see that from people who are Democrats, they're all oh, you support Trump, bye, or oh, you support, I don't know, some other random thing.
Yeah, there's
literally the only reason it would be acceptable to be like, I'm not gonna be friends with you anymore if someone's like racist, sexist, or homophobic.
Right. The obvious.
Like those are the only like really good reasons. Everything else just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, those are obvious derogatory reasons, like to take someone out of a group. But there was one friend group I was kind of part of, but my one friend who was in it, she's a Trump supporter. I don't want to say Trump supporter. She's conservative, but the rest of the girls in the friend group were all left-leaning liberals-ish. I don't want to call them like lefties because that's not exactly that's not polite. But but when they were like hanging out, one of them just goes, "Okay, who's the Trump supporter in our group?" And instantly she felt outed because she didn't feel like she was wanted there anymore. It was kind of a hostile environment.
I mean, to a degree, it kind of does become a hostile environment.
It does, yeah.
I think it all stems from, and like, this isn't me trying to be rude. This is me trying to find the core problem with it, as I think it stems from immaturity and just downright ignorance. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not me saying anyone who's like, I can't be friends with you because you're a Trump supporter is ignorant or immature if you have a valid reason.
Right.
If you truly believe, like, if you're a Trump supporter, my entire family, except for like 2 or 3 people, all Trump supporters. I am not. I'm one of the 2 or 3 people. All Trump supporters, right? Mm-hmm. None of them are homophobic. None of them are transphobic. They just want lower taxes.
Right.
My dad owns a business. My uncles all own businesses. My pop owns a business. My uncle used to own a realtor. Like, he used to be a realtor and own his own company. My family comes from small business, and they saw the Trump plan as beneficial towards their businesses so they can then provide for their families. They didn't see some of the mean things he said. Now, I understand some things that Trump said can be a little outlandish.
Trump can't keep his fucking mouth
Trump
shut.
can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
But they're not racists. They don't hate somebody. My family doesn't hate people. We just kind of are like, leave us alone. It's like the leave us alone kind of people. Like,
yeah.
We don't associate with our neighbors either. We don't hate our neighbors. We actually have very good relationships with our neighbors. But it's just kind of like, don't talk to us. We're just kind of, But, and my neighbors across the street are Democrats. They had a Biden sign out. We had a Trump sign out. I mean, I had my Joe Jorgensen sign out. We had different signs out. No one had any problems.
Right.
We're still friends at the end of the day.
And Bucks County is a pretty versatile area for political views and stuff like
yeah,
that.
we're very purple.
Yeah.
We're high for political versatility, but low for literally every other kind of diversity and volatility. Let's
Yeah. But like politically, Bucks County is very purple. We have a large mix of Democrats and Republicans. I believe in this past election, the Republicans ended up taking more control of Bucks County, but I think that was just because the Republicans ran a pretty good campaign in Bucks County.
Mm-hmm. No, we were blue, weren't we?
We went blue for Trump, but Fitzpatrick won. Wendy won. The Republicans ended up flipping a seat in Doylestown township, which is a very hyper blue township. So the Republicans took over a blue area. So like it's but who knows? Maybe it'll flip back. You never know. It's a lot of back and forth. So like
in like 2 years' time, it'll probably go back.
Yeah, so like there's a lot that can happen here. We're in a very blue or red, depending on where you are, because like the areas that are blue and the areas that are red are very strongholds for red and blue. Mm-hmm. But Bucks County is so like diverse in idea. But except for like everybody in Bucks County, that's like the one issue that on the left and the right everybody agrees on is lower taxes. That's one of the oddest things I've ever seen. Is I've seen Democrats and Republicans both campaign on lower taxes in Bucks County.
Yeah. May I just say that as a McDonald's worker, well, I think I said this before, but let me say it again. As a McDonald's worker making $9 an hour, I have paid more in taxes than Donald Trump did in the year that was brought out.
Crazy.
Just want to point that one out there. I think the last episode was fairly long, and I think we kind of talked about everything we want to talk about today, and I think what we talked about here at the end was very important as well. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to I think we should wrap this one up. I think
we will For any viewers, if we edit things out, there were a lot of bloopers in this episode.
There was a lot of outside distractions coming from the rest of the studio.
We'll be uploading bloopers on TikTok, and we might include some of them at the end of the video. Oh my gosh.
Want to thank everybody for listening. Wanted to make this one kind of a shorter one because the last one was kind of long.
Yeah. Last two were kind of long.
Last two were kind of long, yeah. So I want to thank everybody for watching and sticking through with us to now.
Goodbye.